Hello friends, we have come to the end of cutting the ground, that is models for approaches for analyzing post-colonial writings. Now we have seen a quick review of what we have done. You remember the first lecture was about special character, isn't it? Special character, that's the first lecture. Special character of post-colonial writings. And then we saw why is it called post-colonial, means what is the reasons for that we have seen. Secondly, we see models or approaches. The first approach, you remember, national or regional models. Regional models, there we considered national models like American literature, Canadian, then New Zealand, and you have also seen that there's another one we saw is the Canadianness, Australianness. These are national models we can see. Regional models we saw Caribbean, then West Indies, South Pacific, and so on. So then third one you remember, that's about comparative models. Comparative models or comparative approaches, that is white, so that black, and black, white, that is bridging. The third one, black-white comparison, is bridging. The other one is, that is very simple to know, American, Canadian, that is white, black, South African, Caribbean, that can be done, or African, and black-white, this would be Canadian, and you can see West Indian. So that is how you proceed. Then the fourth one is, remember, black writing models. Black writing models, or we saw, what we say, race-based models. That means all the Africans considered, whether they live in a minority, as a minority diaspora in America, or a majority in Africa, we consider. Then we saw that the main point is negritude. Negritude, that is black philosophy or black aesthetics. Negritude. That is our third model. The fourth point. Third model and fourth point. And fourth model we saw language and the place. Language and place model, isn't it? That's the problem, I know. Yeah. So let's see, it doesn't matter. Our fifth point is language and place. That's the thing. So as I said, the question is whether an important language. Question asks whether an important language can or will it be possible to express new ideas, new locations, new cultures, new concepts, and so on, isn't it? That we saw that it should be, because language has got that much of efficiency and power, and we also saw Indo-European and spreading of the Indo-European and so on. And then number 6 we saw colonizer and colonized. Colonizer and colonized. There we saw that the desire for the post-colonial society to go back to their original, that is what we call the pre-colonial recuperation of culture, and also their way of writing, that is literature. So that is the main point there. And then we saw this colonized, and then we saw another one is, that is next model, so that we can say is that the dominating, yes, dominating and dominator, isn't it? Dominator. There we saw it is a slippery ground, because as we took the example of American first was what we call a dominated literature, and then it became dominating after some time. So this can happen like that. Australian also. Also we saw that Irish then and Scottish and Welsh, isn't it? That also we saw how Ireland, etc. First it began as a colonial type, and then soon it became the part of the dominating country, isn't it? Yes. And now last we saw syncretic and hybridity, syncretic and hybrid, isn't it? Hybrid means, two cultures crossing of two cultures. Syncretism means opposite elements come together. That is syncretism and hybrid. Both are same, but the difference is one is opposite elements are coming together. As already we have explained these things. Now today we are going to have this, and then we saw the next one is 9th point was finding a name. Finding a name. So far that, like we saw this Terra Anglia, post-European, we saw that there are many names suggested like this, Commonwealth literature, and also I would suggest a multicultural literature. That is my opinion. Post-colonial has been fixed, but okay. But much better than that, I think, is you can have multicultural literature, because this is the world of multiculturalism. You don't find anywhere pure cultures and so on. So these are the 9 points that we have so far covered, and the last one today is thematic parallels. Thematic parallels that you find in post-colonial literatures and post-colonial writings. And with this we come to the end of this section. Point number 10, thematic parallels. Means, all these literatures, cutting across different, for example, you have got what is called parallels, almost different literatures, across different literatures. That's what you have to say. Parallels across different literatures. Not that you find in one, the other one absent. No. Almost in every post-colonial literature you get this. First and foremost, we can see, as we have seen already in our introductory lecture, celebration of independence in community as well as individuals, by individuals. Celebration of independence. In pockets, somewhere in some pockets of the colony, there will be some uprising. That uprising will spread into a conflagration, and after that what happens is it becomes an independent movement and the country becomes independent. This is example for you have got the best example in India, that is Raja Rao's Kandapura. Then we have it there you have got in Kenya, for example, you have got a grain of wheat. So that is a novel that you have to prescribe for your study. Ngugis. And then you have raids, that is in Jamaica, New Day. So these are examples for that. Kandapura, then a grain of wheat and New Day. So in these novels, what happens is there is celebration of independence. So pockets of struggle here and there, then that is, it grows into a conflagration, as you can say, and then whatever, it's a national movement. Finally, the nation becomes independent and everybody is enjoying that. So this is something that you find in every, so that is first point to note, that celebration of independence. Celebration of independence. This you will find, and that is because it's not logical. No? Colonies, once they become free, they are independent, and it is only natural that you enjoy that the Independence Day. They celebrate the Independence Day. Then a second point you can find is that, you will find the dominating, even after the country becomes independent. See, the dominating influence of the foreign country continues. That's the problem. See that? The no longer at ease. That's a very good word by the Kenyan, isn't it? Is it Kenyan? Yes. Is it no longer at ease? That is, sorry. That is by Achebe. Yes. So no longer at ease is by Achebe. Then you can see that is Nigerian, not Kenyan. That is Nigerian. Yes. And then you have got Barbados. You have got the great writer there, George Lamy. In the castle of my skin. So that is, so this no longer at least, and in the castle of my skin, you get the themes of the continuing influence. Even after the country becomes independent, the foreign influence continues. So that is what you find. So you can say that as a second point, dominating influence of dominating influence of foreign powers even after independence, in the color of my skin, and also that is, and also you will find there after independence, that is no longer at ease. Understand that is. A third point that you always see is that construction or demolition of houses. That is just what a metonymic force. Just to forget the past. You have seen one of the themes we found is that forgetting the past, abandoning the past, trying to escape from the past. But the past is something that is always connected with, it brings back memories of that suffering in another middle passage. And as we have seen, Harris trying to recross the middle passage and so on. For that he takes the Spider-Man as his symbol. Those things we have already seen. So what happens here is that to completely to annihilate, or you can say to obliterate, yes, to obliterate the memory of the foreigners. In some novels you will find destruction of houses and construction of monuments, destruction of houses, construction of monuments, etc. That is part. You can't destroy the whole thing. So part is destroyed, and part is the partial destruction, that is metonymy. Metonymy, it has got a metonymical force, that's what it is, partial destruction. Not the whole thing cannot be destroyed. Yeah, so you will find novels like the Trinidadian, V.S. Naipaul, recently dead, no? V.S. Naipaul. A House for Mr. Bishwas. That is one. A House for Mr. Bishwas. There's a famous novel that deals with this. How to destroy or how to annihilate, so to say, history, memory of those terrible days of colonization. You have also Canadian, Sinclair Rose. He speaks, as for me and my house. As for me and my house is another one. I think you have Peter Carey's Bliss, no, Australian Peter Carey's Bliss is another example where you find this destruction and so on. Understand? And the fourth is, and this is the third one, is destruction of houses. Destruction of houses, etc. See, or even construction someday. India Gate, see, our own India Gate, you can say an example of constructing, isn't it, after independence. Or you can say, or bringing India Gate into prominence, you can say. That is connected with this forgetting and remembering. See that, isn't it? April is the cruelest month, bringing the cruelest month. April is the cruelest month, mixing memory and desire. That is the thing. So they don't want to mix memory and desire here. They want to destroy the memory and they want to continue, march forward in the history of it. March forward in history with their desire, that is future. So April is the cruelest month. Reading lilacs out of the dead land, mixing memory and desire. Isn't it? Yes. So we quote this for many occasions, because that can be quoted also in that sense. Okay. So that is another thing, another point that you have. Destruction of houses, etc. It's a metonymy. It has got a metonymic force. Metonymy is a partial. So partial destruction, that is metonymy. That in that sense we consider that. I hope we understand that. Celebration of independence, dominating influence after that, no longer at ease. In Kandapura is the best example. Then you can see destruction of houses, etc. A House for Mr. Biswas by V.S. Naipaul. And then we also saw the next theme that is very often found is a European interloper. A European interloper. Interloper means one who enters without permission. An interloper accompanied by a native guide, a journey of the European interloper with plus accompanied by a native guide. This is another recurring theme, you can say. It's also normal because they are coming to a new place and they want to study these places, and so you can see Patrick White's, that is Australia, was, that's the novel. Was Patrick White Australian novel. You can also see that Wilson Harris says Palace of the Peacock, very famous. Palace of the Peacock, Wilson Harris. You will find this theme. So now how many themes now, recurring themes you will find, parallels you will find, celebration of independence. One novel you can remember is Kandapura or Ngugis. Then dominating influence of foreign, you can see No Longer at Peace, or In the Castle of My Skin, George Lamy. Then Destruction of House, etc. V.S. Naipaul. And then you have got the European interloper, native Palace of the Peacock. Yes, Palace of, or you also have Palace of the Peacock or Was, isn't it? Or you have got this novels like what do you find? Property novels written, you can see now in Rudyard Kipling's novels. You will find a native accompanying a foreigner. See, that is another point that you can find is special use of irony and allegory. That is, in this colonial context, irony and allegory, special use of irony and allegory. A distinctive use, you can say. Sixth point is, very often, as always you find, is exile. The theme of exile. Exile, language and place. Language and place you see. How you have been thrown into a different place, that is exile. And also the natives can be exiled. You are an exile in your own land. So in different ways you will find this theme of exile, you see, that is. So you have got novels like, you have exile, the theme that almost all the writings you will find exile as a theme. And then you have got also another, a seventh point to notice, that is about shared psychic and shared psychic disturbances, or you have got psychic sufferings, pain, then economic hegemony as a whole. You can see the force of a hegemony, that is enforcing hegemonic powers by the imperialists on the colonizers. This also you will find in almost all the writings, not a particular, I need not specify a particular novel or a poem or a drama, and so you can see Derek Walcott. So that Derek Walcott you will find in Wilson Harris, you will find in Ngugi, in Achebe. So all these great writers, they speak about this exile and the destruction of the, so not exile, psychic problem, destruction of tradition versus modernity. You will find tradition versus modernity. So that is, you are forced to leave your tradition. So that is, it has got some psychic influence on you, psychic. It has a psychic suffering, and the economics and politics, the culture. You have to, they are imposing a foreign culture. You have to go along with that, etc. These are a half a dozen plus one thematic parallels that you find in post-colonial writings. So we have seen, I think I have covered quite a lot of area in post-colonial writings, and as you can see, the whole thing in front of you, special characteristics, then different models or different approaches. Then we finding a name. Finally, it is post-colonial. I would suggest multicultural. My suggestion, you agree or not? You may not agree. I am not, but I must say, I cannot. I am not hegemonic in character. Therefore, I cannot impose it on you. And then the last point is thematic parallels. Of this, most important points that you can remember is exile is something that happens in every novel. Celebration of independence is another one. Then continuing influence of the foreigners, that is another theme that very often you will find in almost all the novels. And then you will find this sufferings and the sufferings because of the hegemonic forces forcefully applied on you by the imperialists, you can say. So that is imperialists and colonizer and the colonized. So that suffering you will find, isn't it? That's what you find. And also normally you will find the foreigner accompanied by a native, and these are things that you find. That's because it's all logical. It's nothing to what I must say, nothing strange about these things. In that situation, when you think about that situation, you will find that this is quite normal. So with this we come to the end of the discussion of post-colonial writings. We have come across some famous authors. We have also come across like D.S. Maxwell, Max Dorsenville, we saw. Then W.H. News we saw, and J.P. Mathew we saw. We saw African writers, plenty of them. Wilson Harris we saw. Then Cheshire we saw, isn't it? We came into contact with it, or we are getting familiar with the Cheshire and his idea of negritude we saw, isn't it? Then Langston Hughes, Richard Wright in America, these black intellectuals, their influence we saw. So West Indian writers we saw, Caribbeans. So you get now an idea now. You got what is called you can say a bird's eye view. Yes, that way you can say. No? So you can see at a particular point, a vantage point you stand, and then you look around and you get an aerial view of post-colonial writings. Now after some time you will be taking up one after another. So there are some more theories. For example, we have got the writings of Homi K. Bhabha and also Gayatri Spivak. So in connection with the theories of post-colonial writings that we will see in our future lectures. I hope that you are enjoying my lectures, you are following my lectures. If it is useful to you, then share this with your friends and your well-wishers if you want to. If you want to share it with your well-wishers, you are welcome. So also, if you would like to contact me, then you should visit my site, englishforme.in. So till then, bye-bye. Have a nice time. Enjoy your life. Take things easy. Take care.